Coming up, investigators work to find a motive behind a murder on a small university campus.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. A small Kentucky college town is in a state of shock over the murder of a young college student in his dorm room. The 18-year-old wrestler died Saturday. Police say he was strangled to death. The suspect was also on the wrestling team. WYMT's Phil Pendleton was able to talk to investigators and the college president about the troubling situation.
Josiah Kilman came to Campbellville University for biblical studies and to be a part of the school's wrestling team.
To be a champion of character here on our campus. Indeed, he was a champion of character.
But just after midnight Saturday, police say he was found unresponsive in his dorm. He later died at a hospital. Police identified 21-year-old Charles Zeke Escalera, who was also on that wrestling team, as a person of interest in his murder.
Well, at this point, the motive is still unknown. However, of course, it's an ongoing investigation.
Allegations in your case are that on February 24th of 2024, that you committed the offense of murder, a Class A felony, by causing the death of Josiah Kilman.
Escalera is accused of strangling the 18-year-old Kilman early Saturday morning, and then 17 hours later, police say a farmer found him in a barn on the Taylor-Greene County line. Police say he surrendered without any trouble, but why all of this happened remains a big question.
We're not going to leave any stone unturned. We've still got a lot of interviews to do.
This is a time of hurting for our campus, and I am grateful and must extend my gratitude to a community all around us.
The chapel has been open since the crime happened, and the president says it will remain so for anyone who needs to pray and he wants counseling. Yesterday,
there was a beautiful time of worship here, which is exactly what Josiah would have wanted.
Hopkins says the fellowship of coaches, staff, and students lasted long after the Sunday service ended. A lot of tears shed, but also a celebration of the life that Kilman led. Taylor County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
During Escalera's arraignment, we also learned he faces a burglary charge in Greene County. He remains in jail on a $2 million cash bond. Hazard police made a drug arrest today after executing a search warrant on Glomar Storm King Road. As you can see, officers found 13 baggies of suspected meth, $3,147 in cash, meth pipes, baggies, scales, and phones. Officers also found several firearms, as you see there during the search. Michael Lewis was arrested and faces several charges, including drug trafficking, possession of a gun by a convicted felon, and terroristic threatening. Investigators are still working to determine the cause of 3 fires that broke out over the weekend in Clay County. The Manchester Fire Department says the fires seriously damaged 3 homes, sharing these pictures on Facebook from the different scenes. The first blaze ignited late Saturday morning. The other 2 happened Sunday. Firefighters did not give us exact locations for each fire, but did say no one was injured.
We are still tracking some warm weather late into this Monday evening. Most of us still in the 60s at this hour. Let's take a look at those temperatures, sitting at 62 in London, 63 in Jackson, and 65 over in Irvine. So once again, we are well above average as we close out your Monday, and more warm weather on the way overnight, also by your Tuesday and on Wednesday as well. But we are watching out for a few changes after Wednesday, all thanks to a strong cold front up on first alert pinpoint Doppler. We are dry at this hour, but we are watching out for a few showers as we go after midnight, especially by late tonight, also early into your Tuesday. And this is new this evening, a level 1 marginal risk of severe weather in place for all the areas in green for possibly a few strong to severe storms by late tonight, also early on Tuesday. Not going to be a widespread issue, but we could see possibly some heavier showers by late tonight, also early on your Tuesday for the counties in green from Mount Vernon to Jackson, back to the north and west into central and northern Kentucky. But again, not going to be a widespread widespread or huge issue. Low temperatures back in the middle 50s as you wake up on Tuesday, and more wet and windy weather on the way at times on your Tuesday, so be sure to have the umbrella close. Temperatures top out in the upper 60s and possibly some lower 70s. Not going to rain 24/7 on Tuesday, but some off and on showers are likely, and once again some of those could be a little bit heavy in some areas, and then some more higher rain chances by Wednesday. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thank you. Elkhorn City's mayor is leaving his position after 13 years, effective April 1st. Mayor Mike Taylor announced his resignation in a FaceTime video last week amidst the city's ongoing financial issues. He says the city's finance fumbles, the pressure of public opinion, and the lack of support from outside have all led to his decision to step away.
I love everybody. I'll still do for them, just like I always do. But I'm not going to put my family through it no more. But I want this other stuff straightened out, finances and retirement, whatever we have to do to make that happen before I leave.
The City Council is working to recover from the mishandling of finances. One of the council members will fill the vacant mayor position for now. A new bill filed in the state legislature would add exceptions for rape and incest to Kentucky's abortion ban. Republican Representative Ken Fleming of Louisville filed House Bill 711 today. Right now, Kentucky's law only allows abortions if necessary to save a mother's life or prevent disabling injuries. The new bill would add exceptions for rape and incest if the abortion can be performed no later than 6 weeks. It would also allow abortions to be performed to remove a dead unborn fetus, an ectopic pregnancy, or incomplete miscarriage, or in cases of lethal fetal anomaly. Hadley's law was filed in the Senate in January to also include exceptions to the state's abortion ban. Folks are remembering the legacy of former London Police Chief William Bill Smith. Smith served in the department for more than 20 years. He also founded and operated Ambulance Incorporated of Laurel County in 1977. Being involved in multiple ways, including his church, current Police Chief Chuck Johnson says Smith loved serving his community.
Had a servant's heart. He not only was the chief of police here at the London Police Department, but he also was the president and owner of Ambulance Incorporated, the ambulance service here in Laurel County. So he's been heavily involved in public service for basically his entire life.
Johnson says they will continue to honor Smith and carry on his legacy forever. For people with a criminal record, employment opportunities may be hard to come by. One county in eastern Kentucky is working to help people clear certain charges and get them back on their feet. WYMT's Jack Demler has more from Estill County.
An opportunity to give people a clean slate.
You know, we've heard people say, oh, I never thought they'd come off my record. And that is the most rewarding thing that comes into these clinics.
The Public Defender's Office of the Department of Public Advocacy hosted a criminal records expungement clinic for people with nonviolent felonies and misdemeanors.
Expungements are very important for the people that we work with. In particular, we work with a lot of people that are lower income. They don't have a lot of opportunities that somebody who may have lived a more privileged life might have.
People received free background checks and advice from attorneys who helped them fill out the required paperwork to see if they were eligible for expungement. Along with the opportunity for a clean record, people also had the chance to meet with businesses.
That is probably one of the most important things that we have to consider when we're setting these up, because the expungement process is lengthy. A lot of the people that are here today, it could be 6 months from now before they see a court date once all the paperwork's processed. But if a company's willing to come here and set up and say, hey, we're hiring, then we know that that company is more likely to hire that person. And they're not going to discriminate them because of a mistake that they may have made 10 years ago.
Alternative sentencing worker Hannah Duncan says the clinic brought many people immediately.
We opened the doors and we were just setting things up around 10 o'clock and there was a line out the door. As soon as, we got set up, we were checking people in, and there was even a point that people were waiting to talk to attorneys. So it's been really great to have everybody come out and tell us what they need and let us help them out.
Giving people clean opportunities to start fresh. In Irvin, Jack Demler, WYMT Mountain News.
Duncan said while this is the only the second clinic the public defender's office has hosted, they hope to bring 4 or 5 more this year to the other counties they cover. Inmates at the Kentucky River Regional Jail are getting the opportunity to participate in a class at Hazard Community and Technical College. The class involves construction technology. Level 1 inmates participate in the class 4 times a week. Jail Administrator Lonnie Brewer says the response has been outstanding.
The inmates been involved. We started with 50 in our last class. We graduated 12. The 3 that didn't graduate were all released from jail. So the completion rate is unbelievable. They're participating and they're doing it.
Brewer says they're able to do the program through opioid abatement money. HCTC President Dr. Jennifer Linden says they plan to expand it. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley has no plans to drop out of the presidential race. The latest from the campaign trail.
Plus, we are tracking some warm and windy weather tomorrow. Your Tuesday forecast after this break.